Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy Winning Wednesday to each and every one of you. I hope and pray that your day has been phenomenal. My day, as always, has been busy, but it's been great nonetheless. And you guys, when I tell you, thank you, not that, that's not what I was going to tell you, but when I tell you that next month, I have some really good news to share with you all. I cannot wait. And all I can say in advance is thank you. See, I've learned that you want to thank God in advance. Come on now. But you also want to thank people in advance for supporting you and in your efforts. So I'm thanking you in advance for what I'm going to be sharing with you all next month. So just kind of keep that tucked away in your back pocket. Now, y'all, my fans have been asking me, Michelle, when you get in the kitchen again? So this coming Saturday, I am so excited because I'm going to be making, what is it called? Sauteed spinach with onions, mushrooms, tomato, and of course you have to add some fresh garlic to it. So I'm super excited about that. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we're going to play it by ear, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be good because it's spinach. You can't really mess that up. So we will see. Now, let's jump into today's topic because I'm super excited about it. And I have 7 things that I'm going to be sharing with you. And we're going to be talking about things that you should do every night. And this is a Stoic routine that was used by Markus Aurelius. And I just thought, you know what, this is great. Because to be honest with you, a lot of people don't even have a nightly routine. I personally have a nightly routine, but not everybody does. So I want to first start off by sharing this quote with you that says, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That quote is by Markus Aurelius. So let that kind of marinate in your spirit. So number 1, disconnect from any external distractions and noise. Watching TV, playing video games, or being on social media may seem like a break, but sometimes they are only a break from finding peace. That's deep, y'all. So we need activities that truly disconnect and free our minds. I don't know about you all, but when I have my moments where I want to disconnect, and I mean really just disconnect. There's no television, there's no Netflix. Y'all know I love me some Netflix. There's no YouTube movies. I might listen to music, my meditational music on my Amazon Music app. I do have the Native American flute music on there and some other, relaxing music that I can play, just instrumental. But it's taking a break, because sometimes we think, okay, I'm gonna take a break from work, and then you get to scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or whatever other platform you choose to use, and that's not really a break. It really isn't. What it is it just takes your mind off of your work and puts it onto something else. Because here's the thing, when you get on social media, you see all kind of posts. Y'all know what I'm talking about. In the last couple of, I'm gonna say since this past weekend, I saw a post where a young man committed suicide. I saw a post where people were celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, kids going back to school, relationship issues, people asking for prayer for whatever's going on in their lives or in the lives of their loved ones, just so much stuff. So when you think you're taking a break from work and by going on to social media, look how much your mind is taking in. This is why I tell people all the time, I am very careful about what I allow my mind to take in before I go to bed. That means what I'm watching, what I'm listening to, being on social media, all of that good stuff, conversations, all of that good stuff, because if I'm not careful, even as I go to sleep, those things are playing in my mind. And that can cause me to have a seizure in my sleep. And so because I don't want that to happen, because it's not a good feeling when you wake up in the morning and you don't realize you're having it as you're having that seizure. But when you wake up in the morning, I know that I've had it because my body just feels very heavy. And it feels like I'm dragging around 600 pounds of body weight. And sometimes it can cause you to bite your tongue. I've had that happen a couple of times. But you just don't feel like yourself. You know what I mean? So I am very careful about what I watch and or listen to before I go to bed, because my mind just processes things probably differently than most people. And I'm a problem solver. I'm always trying to figure things out. I always say I should have been a detective because I love to do research. Like, somebody says something, you're like, let me do a little research into that. Before you know it, I done clicked on 50 million sites trying to get the information that I'm looking for. But that's just how my mind works. So I said all that to say that when you decide that you are going to take a break, I want you to truly take a break. That doesn't mean get on social media. That means take a break from everything. Just allow your mind to rest and relax. It might even mean just sitting still and closing your eyes for about 5 or 10 minutes, hoping you don't fall asleep. But if you need to do that, then that's fine too. But truly, especially when you're getting ready to go to bed, you need to cut all of that off. I'm one of these people that I cannot sleep with the television on. Now, if I take that back, if I'm really, really tired, then yes. However, just when I'm getting into bed and I'm ready to power down for the evening, I need the lights off. I don't want any light coming through the blinds. That street light that's right here and one over there. I don't want any of that. I just need total darkness so my mind can just really rest. Number 2, engage in exercise. For Markus Aurelius, it was a tragedy for a man to be without having experienced the strength and potential of his own body. He believed that a healthy mind required a healthy body. The ancient philosophers knew that exercise was not just about becoming physically strong. It also taught perseverance, discipline, and self-confidence. So you see, physical exercise is something we all simply cannot and or should not ignore. And not just for how we look on the outside, but how it makes us feel on the inside. So I want to encourage you all, and I'm gonna tell you something before I finish that thought. Well, no, let me finish that thought. I want to encourage you all, if you're not already exercising, I want you to add that into your routine. But I'm gonna tell you something, honey. There is no better sleep, in my opinion, than after you have had a great exercise. You come home, you shower, get a little something to eat, and when your head hits the pillow, I promise you, it's a wrap. That is some good sleep right there, okay? Because you have burned calories and now you're ready to go to sleep. So again, if you're not already exercising, I want to encourage you to do that. Number 3, reflect on your day. Markus Aurelius said, there is no better way to expand the mind than to contemplate what happened during the day. So Markus Aurelius liked to review all he had done and learned that day so he could find ways to improve himself the next day. And this will ensure that we are becoming the person we truly want to be. And by taking the time to reflect and contemplate at night is a significant step toward living more consciously and leading a more meaningful life. I love that. I truly, truly love that. You all know that I have a gratitude journal that I'm writing in. And one of the things that I think, there's one of the questions that asks, what was one of the highlights of your day, or something similar to that. But it just made me think about how when you, and here's the thing, I'm not asking you to relive the bad parts of your day, because I get it. When we look back over our day, there's some good things and some not so good things that have happened. But when you sit back and just think about your day as a whole, I love the fact that you are able to prepare your mind and your body as you get ready to go to bed for an even better day the next day. So, and when I'm doing my prayers and meditations before I go to bed, I always ask God to allow me to take what I've learned this day and apply it to tomorrow. But also I ask him to help me be a better person tomorrow than I was today. That is my prayer every day, and hopefully it's yours as well. But yeah, if you sit down and you really think about the things that you experience during the day, be good, bad, or indifferent, it will allow you to have a much better day tomorrow. Because see, some of the mistakes you made today, you won't make them again tomorrow because you've learned from them already. Number 4, listen to your inner sage. So a sage, for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, is a wise person with experience in a particular subject who is admired for their knowledge, judgment, and experience. So for many of us, this wise figure serves as a role model. This person could also be you. For Markus Aurelius, his sage was Zeno, who was the founder of Stoicism. So he would contemplate what Zeno would do in certain situations. And I think y'all know where I'm going with this. Reflecting on his own inner sage. So reflecting on your own inner sage at night helps you to think about how your day went and how your actions align with the model that you follow. So now, let me just say what I think you all knew where I was going with that. Now, I don't know who Zeno is or was, but I know for me, my sage is the Lord himself. So when I sit back and I look at my day and I look at the way I handle situations, I do ask myself, Lord, now what would you have done in that situation? Because 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure that he would have handled things a whole lot different than the way I handled them. I didn't have any issues today, but there are some days where things may come up and I kind of go left or right with it, and then I go, now what would Jesus have done? Because he certainly would not have handled it the way you just did, Michelle. And I can ask God for forgiveness, and that's one of the things I love about the Lord, that he is a forgiving God, and his blessings and his mercies are new every day, regardless of what you did or didn't do the day before. But I digress. I love the idea of, again, reflecting on the day's events and then asking yourself, now, God, what would you have done in that situation? Now, if there's somebody else that you follow who serves as your role model, then by all means, interject that person's name there. But for me, it is God himself. So I'm always going to ask him, now, how would you have handled that situation? Number 5, gain broader perspective. So spend a few minutes each night simply thinking about your surroundings, your body, the people around you, your home. Then expand your perspective to your city. Think about the people in your city, each with their unique life, dreams, and challenges. So that's a powerful one, you guys. When you talk about broadening your perspective, I think sometimes people have a hard time doing that because they're only reflecting on what they can see right here. Well, when you broaden your perspective, it allows you to not just think about what's happening in your immediate neighborhood, but the surrounding neighborhoods as well. Not just what's happening in the state in which you live, but also the world as a whole. And when you do that, it just allows you to, I think, open up and really truly understand other people with their situations as you look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you grateful. I will say that it makes you grateful when you broaden your perspective and you think about your life, however it may be. You think about your life and you broaden your perspective and you start thinking about people that live here, there, and everywhere else, or in other countries, then it makes you grateful for what you have. And you say to yourself, wow, I know things may be a little tough, but I don't have it as bad as those people do. And so, again, it helps you to be grateful for what you have. Number 6. Y'all, this is a powerful one. Number 6, spend time with your family. I'm going to say that again. Spend time with your family. For Markus Aurelius, sharing time with his family was the utmost importance, even though he was an extremely busy man. It is said that a nurse who cared for people in their final moments often heard one of the most common regrets from those near death, and that was not having spent more time with family. Many regret not enjoying the youth and childhood of their children, or not sharing more moments with their partners due to the demands of modern life. I don't know about you all, but I've talked about this before. Time is something that we can never get back. So I want to encourage you, starting today, I want to encourage you. I'm sorry, I was going to say, I know daggone well, this man ain't going to park his car in front of my driveway. But I digress. I want to encourage you to start spending time with your families. You know, it is so sad. I'm going to say this. It is so sad. If you've ever been in a nursing home to visit someone and you see those residents there who never have anybody to come visit them, it's really, really sad. I remember years ago when my Aunt Edna was, when my grandmother got to a place where she could no longer take care of her, because you know they were both getting on in age, and my Aunt Edna had to go to a nursing home. Now my grandmother lived up northwest on Euclid Street, so if you're familiar with the DMV area, you know where that is. It's up by the DC Zoo. But anyway, my Aunt Edna was in a nursing home not too far from where I live, which was nice because we could go and visit her more often because she was on this end of town. But anyway, when we would go and visit her, there was like 4 ladies, I believe, in one room. And one of the ladies, I'm going to my mind's eye to try to remember, she, I believe was, I can't remember if she was when you first came in over to my right or if she was near the window. But anyway, when we would come in, she could not see, but her hearing was perfect. And when we would come in to visit my aunt, she would speak, and my daughter was always with me, and she would say, "Is the baby with you?" And I'd say, "Yes, ma'am." I can't even remember her name, but I'd say, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "Oh, well, tell her to come over here so I can say hi." So I would get my daughter by the hand and walk over, and she would touch my daughter's hand just to say hi. My daughter would say hi to her. And when I tell you, it put such a huge smile on this woman's face. Mind you, she could not see us, but she could hear us. And she looked forward to our visits, and she looked forward to being able to just hold my daughter's hand. And I think at that time, Nene must have been about, I'm gonna say 5, maybe 5 or 6. And it was just an awesome sight to see. But it also made me realize we had never been there to visit my aunt and seen anybody come see that lady. I mean, nobody. And it was really, really sad. Then I had another incident where, you all know that I'm a deacon in my church. Yes, I'm an ordained deacon, because some of y'all be thinking, deacon, you mean deaconess? Because I get that all the time. No, I'm an ordained deacon. We have female deacons in my church, but I digress. And so one of the things that we do is we go out and serve communion to the sick and shut-in members. And prior to COVID, I served communion to Mrs. Adams. Now, mind you, I live here in Capitol Heights, Maryland. And Mrs. Adams was in a nursing home way uptown. Matter of fact, it was so far uptown that, if you went a couple of lights down from where she stayed, you would run into, I believe it's Silver Spring, Maryland. So it's kind of like going all the way around the Beltway. But anyway, I loved going to visit her, because we would talk about all the good times at Metropolitan, because she had been a member of Metropolitan Baptist Church for many, many years before she had to go into a nursing home. And she was just such a joy to serve communion to. And so one day I said to her, I said, if you don't mind me asking, do you ever have anybody come visit you? And she said, no, outside of you. My mom always rode with me. She said, outside of you two, no. I said, well, you don't have any children? She said, well, I have a son. And then she kind of got sad. And I said, well, what's wrong? And she just said that her and her son didn't have a good relationship. And again, it made me really sad because I only got to see her once a month when I served her communion. And it just, again, it made me sad knowing that there was nobody coming to visit her. And so I shared those two stories with you all. Oh, and wait a minute, I got one more story for you. So Frankie's mom, when the times that she had to go into rehab, she stayed in the rehab facility. And I noticed that every time we went to visit her in rehab, when she went to a rehab facility, she was always in a room with someone that nobody came to visit. Nobody came to visit. And it was just really, really sad. And one time she was at rehab, and her neighbor, actually, that lived across the street from her, he was in that nursing facility. And we were walking by one day to go visit his mom. And we saw him. And it was like, hey, how are you? You know, we got to talking. And he told me that he liked, what was it? Reese's Pieces, I think. God, I can't remember what the candy bar was now. And every day we'd go visit his mom, I'd bring him some. And I said, all right, now this is our secret. You can't tell nobody. And he'd act like a kid on Christmas. He was like, oh, okay, no problem, you know. And then he'd have this cute little grin on his face. And I said, and make sure you don't eat them all up at one time. He said, well, I won't. And every time I come, I always made sure I brought his favorite candy bar. But you know, you get them in packs. And I mean, just to see his face light up from something as simple as that was rewarding. But I shared those three stories with you all to say that when we don't make time, and I'm not saying those people didn't, because I don't believe that was, at least not with my aunt anyway, not with my aunt, not with Frankie's mom and his neighbor, but and the lady that, I almost said her name too, dang, that was in the room with my aunt. Oh yeah, I said my aunt. But anyway, I said all that to say this: when we don't take time to spend with our family members, and we begin to get up there in age, and you know death is kind of creeping up on you, one of the things that you will start to think about is, wow, you know what? I wish I had spent more time with my family. I wish I had spent more time with my friends, especially when you look back over your life and you had family members and you had friends, and now nobody takes the time to even come see you. And you're in this nursing facility. Chances are you're going to die in that nursing facility, and nobody's coming to visit you. So I just wanted to use those stories, not to depress you, but just to make you stop and think about how important it is to spend time with your family. Because as you get on in age, memories are all you have, especially when the family members that you love so much are no longer here with you. Every day I go on Facebook and somebody's remembering an aunt or a grandmother or a grandfather or uncle, a mom or dad or sibling or somebody that is no longer here. But they have these great stories that they share. They have these great pictures that they share because they took the time to spend time with those folks and to build memories. So all I'm saying to you all is, in this roundabout way, is make sure you're spending time with your families, because it's going to make a world of difference when you get towards the end of your life. Number 7, last but not least, prepare for your morning. So Markus Aurelius advised against procrastinating your actions and emphasized the importance of waking up early, not leaning towards laziness, but recognizing the opportunity life presents. You must make the most of your day. Even part of your morning routine can start the night before by getting ready for work, This not only helps you have more clarity the next morning and save time, but also it prevents you from having to make difficult decisions early in the morning. I don't know about you all. I am thankful and grateful that every morning that God sees fit to tap me on my shoulder and wake me up, but I am definitely not one that is able to deal with a whole bunch of difficult decisions and or problems. I just cannot do it. I don't have the patience for it because I'm not a morning person, believe it or not. So I try my best to get as much stuff done the night before. Prior to COVID, I loved getting my lunch prepared, so it was already in my container. All I do was get up in the morning and put it in my lunch bag, and whatever drink I was taking with me, my clothes were laid out, all of that good stuff, because I don't have time to be making those decisions in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So even now, Sunday morning, case in point, well, this Sunday is Communion Sunday, so I know what I'm wearing. We have our summer dress that we wear for communion, so I'm going to have that ironed and prepared the night before so that I don't have to worry about getting up, trying to iron my dress and get dressed and all that kind of good stuff, because I don't have time for all that. My pearl necklace, my earrings, my name badge, all of that will be sitting by my keys on the table by the door, because again, I don't have time to be searching for things. So I'm saying all this to say, if you're one of those people that you get up in the morning and you've got to decide, first of all, what am I going to wear? What am I going to take for lunch? What am I going to do for the day? If you can do that and you have no problem with it, and honey, I take my hat off to you, because I just can't do it. I like to have my to-do list for the next day already written up. Now, I may add some things to it, but the list is already done. I have everything out that I need for that day. So I'm not getting up looking for stuff, and that's the worst thing in the world when you have to go searching for things. So start preparing the night before. So when you get up in the morning, like me, I have my prayer. Of course, I wash up and all that good stuff, but I have my prayer, meditation time. I have time for that. And I can't say, well, I didn't have time for it because I was trying to get all my stuff together. I make time for that because that's a part of my morning routine. So I know where my Bible's I use the Bible app on my iPad, but nonetheless, I know where that is. I don't have to go searching for it. I already have it queued up. So when I log into my iPad, the scripture that I want to read, it's already right there. Now, in my vision book, I have 3 things that I'm grateful for in the morning, 3 in the evening. So I have my gratitude journal already open with a pen in it so that I can write down the 3 things that I'm grateful for that morning. All I'm saying is, y'all, prepare the night before. That way you're not running around like a chicken with his head cut off in the morning trying to get yourself together. So having said that, y'all, I'm done. I'm gonna let you be. This video was a little longer than I had planned, but I really wanted to delve a little deeper into some of these topics that I shared with you, especially the one about spending time with your family, because that is so important. It is so, so, so important, especially about preparing the night before. Actually, all of them, to be honest with you, to be quite honest with you, they're all important. And there's some things, I'm not saying you have to do it, but I'm saying there's some things that you might want to think about doing so that you can sleep good at night and waking up in the morning feeling refreshed and renewed. I don't know about you all, but there is nothing better than waking up in the morning. You might be a little sleepy, but you feel refreshed, renewed. You've got a good night's sleep. Your mind is clear and you're ready to take on the day. At least I am. So, and I want you to feel that way as well. Now, having said that, you guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. Right now, my dashboard said it is 73 degrees out. But to be honest with you, it's a little on the muggy side. So, which is why I had my AC on very, very low. Because, like I said, it's quite muggy out. Ooh, excuse me. And I didn't want to sit here sweating, looking like a glowworm, trying to get this video done. So if you're new to watching my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you all for allowing me to come into your lives and speak life into you, allowing me to motivate you, because that's what I love doing the most, when I can motivate and encourage others. So thank you all so, so very much for allowing me to do that. But if you're new, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to tap the bell so you don't miss anything. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up because it helps with the algorithm and it allows the video to get out and be seen by more people. Feel free to share it if you want. I would appreciate it greatly. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Y'all know I miss you and I don't get a chance to see you. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your evening, no matter where you go or what you do. Have fun first and foremost, but be careful, you guys. Please, please, please be careful. I saw my ring, the community section. If you have the ring, then you know what I'm talking about. There's a community section where you can see that people put stuff in there that's going on in their neighborhood. And unfortunately, I saw where someone got shot outside of a rec center somewhere in my area, not directly where I live, but somewhere in this area. That's so sad. My heart and prayers go out to the family of that individual. And I heard on the news today that someone got shot at a Gold's Gym. Not quite sure what that was about, but y'all just please be careful, okay? When you're going out there, please, please, please be careful. Have fun, of course, but be careful. Watch your surroundings. And if you're in neighborhoods that you don't need to be in, especially past dark, then please do not end up in those neighborhoods, okay? I know crime can happen anywhere, but some places, you know, you just need to stay away from. Having said that, you all, I love you to the moon and back. You know the drill. You definitely know the spiel. There's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing that you can do about it because I love you all so very much. I want nothing but the best for you, and I believe that the best is yet to come for you, and the best is yet to come for me. The best is yet to come for us. We will be awesome and amazing individuals. I love you all. We'll talk again on Friday.